Good afternoon, live from Caesars in Las Vegas at Snowflake Summit. I'm Ryan Green. Welcome to Data Cloud Now. I'm joined by Prukalpa Sankar, co-founder of Atlan, along with Harel Shein, head of data engineering at WeWork. Atlan is a leader in active metadata. Their platform creates a unified discovery and collaboration experience across the entire modern data stack. Thank you so much for joining me. Prukalpa, to start with, can you share a little bit about the Atlan and Snowflake partnership and how it has allowed you to achieve really your mission of helping modern data teams do more together?
Yeah. Snowflake's actually been a great partner to us. The theme of this conference is really cool because it's basically data collaboration, right? And that's basically why Atlan was founded. We used to be a data team ourselves, and the biggest challenge that we found was the reality of a data team is that it's one of the most diverse teams that exist. Analysts, engineers, scientists, business.
That disconnect.
They all have their own tooling preferences, they have their own skill sets, their own way of working. And what that meant on a daily basis was a lot of chaos, right? Like, what does this column name mean? How do we measure annual recurring revenue? This number on this dashboard looks off, like what should we do about that, right? Like that was like the day in our life. Like our team was spending 50-60% of our time dealing with these kinds of issues. So Atlan was actually born as an internal solution to those problems. We were building out tools for ourselves. Over time, we made our team 6 times more agile. And we said, hey, can we help other data teams around the world with this? And can we really help teams collaborate better? And so today, we do a lot of work with a ton of Snowflake customers. We work with teams globally, right from Wework, Plaid, Postman, to companies like Unilever, Juniper, Atlan, a ton of them who use Snowflake. And what's been really powerful is that we've been able to enable these teams to, for the first time, create like a 360 profile of all of their data assets, right? Which, if you think about it, in every other team, it already exists, right? And engineering teams have a GitHub, sales teams have a Salesforce. Like this should exist in the data world, but it doesn't. And that's been, I think, one of the most, and Snowflake's been a great partner just because of the power of the platform. What we've been able to do is we can construct automated column level lineage that connects right from your source all the way down to your dashboards or your BI tools, and a ton of automation that's powered just through compute being fully scalable, which becomes one of our biggest sort of advantages as we go to market with Snowflake.
Harel, from your perspective as an Atlan customer and through Snowflake, how has it helped WeWork's journey towards trust, transparency, and governance?
So, we've been through a lot, and over the past year, since we started working with Atlan, it's been mostly about a partnership and for Atlan to understand what our problems are, what our data users' problems are, and working together in solving those. So starting from just mapping out all the data assets that we have as a company, right, and finding a way for all our business users to actually have visibility across the board, see the data, trust the data, know where it's coming from, being able to self-serve, right? We're a small team, the data team is super small, but the user base is huge. So Atlan is actually providing us with that leverage to serve the entire data community of the company while still keeping a small and lean team. On top of that, they're just, fun to work with, so we really enjoy the partnership with Prukalpa. And we're building stuff together, we're shaping the future of their product, but I think generally we're shaping the future of data platforms at large, right? So how that impacts companies like Snowflake and the adoption of data sharing and how that maybe plays into metadata. And overall, I think we'll talk more, but this is a super exciting space for me.
It sounds like a true partnership where collaboration, the result of that collaboration is impact. I wanted to ask a question to both of you in respect to this collaboration. What excites you most about the future with the Snowflake partnership for both Atlan and WeWork? Prukalpa, if you'd like to start.
Yeah, I think what really excites me is what the future of collaboration in the data stack, but what the future of, for example, in our case, like metadata should really mean, right? What Snowflake's made really easy is that all the really hard stuff of setting up product, like setting up the fundamental platform is right now very easy. And hopefully with tools like Atlan, you're not spending a ton of time getting your basic infrastructure up, which means that you can actually spend a ton of time in activating this and actually driving value from your data, right? So for example, like some of the things we're doing with Snowflake is actually starting to pioneer activation of metadata and taking it back into daily workflows of teams. So for example, when you're in a BI tool, you should get context about your whether your pipelines were updated right then and there, or who owns it. That should be available right there. Deep integrations with ecosystems like Slack and Jira, and just like how do you build that one sort of collaborative ecosystem given the number of tools people are using today. And I think and the industry is not here yet, but I think the real future of metadata is when you unlock the true potential of metadata from keeping it logged and siloed to driving use cases like, for example, if you know usage metadata from your BI tool and say 90% of my users are logging it at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning,
right,
you can actually auto-scale up compute in Snowflake to make sure those users have a great experience and scale down 2 hours later when those users log out, right? And those are kind of the use cases that today I think Atlan and Snowflake make possible together. And that's what I'm super excited about, what the future of this ecosystem is going to look like.
Harel, from your perspective.
So I can double down on that point that Prukalpa is making, right? Because metadata is, I think, one of the hottest and most interesting spaces in data right now, because we've pretty much solved a lot of the problems of storing huge volumes of data and then being able to process them. And yes, we can scale up, scale down, and it's a question of economics, whether it's worthwhile to do it or not. But I think a space that's super untapped is this metadata space, and really unlocking data lineage and connectivity and kind of your entire ecosystem of how your systems collect data and move it from place to place. Once we unlock that area, it's going to be, essentially we're going to be able to even be more predictive in how we scale up and scale down compute in a way that engineers don't even have to operate it, don't even have to look at these users' graphs. It just all works magically and automatically.
It's an exciting journey up to this point. We're looking forward to seeing what's next. Thank you so much for joining me. For the audience, if you want to catch Summit keynotes and more, make sure you catch the on-demand replay at snowflake.com/summit/livestream to explore all the newly announced product innovations. My name is Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. We'll see you soon.